20 celebrities you didn't know were actually black. Hollywood's biggest stars have a hidden story. Those 20 celebrities you see owning red carpets? They're black and you probably never even noticed. Think you know them well? It's time to rethink everything about your favorite icons. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson began his career in professional wrestling, following in the path set by his father, Rocky Johnson. Rocky was a prominent wrestler, recognized as one of WWE's first black champions. Dwayne quickly made a name for himself in wrestling, captivating audiences with his energy and charisma. His popularity skyrocketed even further when he transitioned to acting. The Rock has starred in numerous popular films, including Fast and Furious, Jumanji, and Red Notice. Beyond his success as an actor, Dwayne has broad appeal, partly because of his diverse heritage, blending African-Canadian and Samoan roots. His father was from Nova Scotia, Canada, and belonged to the Black Nova Scotian community, a group of black loyalists and freed slaves who settled there after leaving the U.S. following the American Revolution. This lineage has played a significant role in shaping Dwayne's identity. On his mother's side, Dwayne has Samoan heritage. His mother, Ada Mavia, comes from a Samoan family known for its strong traditions and sense of community, a culture Dwayne openly honors and celebrates. Meghan Markle. When Meghan Markle joined the British royal family, her racial identity quickly became a prominent topic. Many people didn't initially realize that she was biracial. Her mother, Doria Ragland, is African American, while her father is white. Growing up in a mixed-race household gave Meghan a distinct view on race and identity, which she has shared more openly in recent years. As a child, Meghan often felt she was navigating between two worlds. She has described moments when people questioned her background, unsure how to classify her. This is a common experience for multiracial individuals who don't fit neatly into one racial category. Over time, Meghan came to embrace both sides of her heritage, recognizing that being biracial is a central part of her identity. After becoming a public figure and marrying into the royal family, conversations around race became even more pronounced. Meghan has addressed the difficulties of being a biracial woman, particularly in such a high-profile role. Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel has become one of Hollywood's top action stars, recognized for his powerful presence and distinctive, deep voice. A lesser-known fact about him is his diverse heritage. His biological father left when Vin was an infant, and he was raised by his mother and his African-American stepfather. Growing up in New York City, Vin was surrounded by a wide mix of cultures, which strongly influenced his identity. Vin Diesel has been open about the complexities of his background, but remains mindful of how much he shares. He often faces questions about his racial identity, and once expressed his perspective simply, "I identify with everything." Rashida Jones. Rashida Jones grew up in a household shaped by her parents' successful careers and very different backgrounds. From a young age, Rashida saw how race influenced how people were treated, even within her own family. She has spoken about times when people doubted she was Quincy Jones's daughter simply because she didn't look black enough. These experiences led her to think deeply about race. Identifying as biracial, Rashida embraces both her African American and European heritage. Yet, she has acknowledged that being biracial can sometimes make it hard to feel fully accepted by either the black or white communities, as people often expect her to choose one side. Despite these challenges, Rashida has used her platform to address issues of race and identity, sharing her insights in essays and interviews. Jennifer Beals. Jennifer Beals was born to an African-American father and an Irish-American mother. After her father's passing when she was young, she was primarily raised by her mother in Chicago. Due to her biracial background, People are often surprised to learn about her African American heritage. In interviews, Jennifer has shared that her background sometimes feels like living between two worlds, which has shaped her unique perspective on life. Though proud of both sides of her identity, Jennifer has often been cast in roles where her ethnicity remains ambiguous. She has said that she's comfortable with this, feeling her identity is personal and doesn't need to be fully explained. Her ability to move between cultures has helped her relate to diverse people in her career and personal life. This multicultural background has also influenced her approach to the roles she chooses. If you loved this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe for more exciting content about your favorite Hollywood stars. Slash's mother was a black fashion designer, and his father was a white artist, exposing him to a blend of cultures. While he didn't often discuss his biracial identity, it was a natural part of him. In his early years, Slash was drawn to learning guitar rather than thinking about race. Rock music was his first love, but he held a deep appreciation for blues, a genre rooted in black culture. Throughout his career, he let his music speak for him rather than letting background define him. As Guns N' Roses rose to fame, Slash's powerful riffs and trademark top hat made him a symbol of rebellious rock, blending styles and breaking genre norms. His heritage may have influenced his worldview, but he never felt the need to explain it. However, when one of the band's songs, One in a Million, caused controversy for offensive language, Slash backed the decision to remove it from a reissued album. He acknowledged that times had changed and that the song no longer reflected the band's values. Tessa Thompson. Tessa Thompson has become a Hollywood powerhouse, captivating audiences with standout performances in Westworld and Marvel films. Growing up biracial in America, Tessa faced the duality of her Afro-Panamanian father and Mexican-American mother, who instilled pride in her black identity. Her mother's upbringing, shaped by a Mexican father who discouraged speaking Spanish to fit societal norms, inspired her to nurture Tessa's self-acceptance. When classmates pointed out her differences, her mother celebrated her brown skin and unique features, supporting her decision to embrace her natural curls. Tessa's mixed heritage allows her to navigate and connect with diverse cultures, influencing her artistry and identity. Cash Warren. Cash Warren, known as Jessica Alba's husband, has deep African-American roots. His father, Michael Warren, a former actor and basketball player, has always identified as black. Though Cash doesn't often speak about his race, growing up in a mixed-race household shaped his appreciation for diversity. Surrounded by people from different backgrounds due to his father's career, Cash developed a broader perspective on life. While he values his African-American heritage, he believes it's just one part of his identity, shaped by his father's experiences and lessons, but not solely defining who he is. Wentworth Miller. What many may not know is that Wentworth Miller is biracial. His father is of African-American, Jamaican, and British heritage. Because of his mixed background, people often struggle to categorize him racially, causing some confusion. Miller has openly discussed these experiences, mentioning in interviews that he was sometimes seen as not black enough or not white enough. He's shared how being biracial can be complex, and he's expressed that he often felt he didn't fully belong in any one group. This personal journey, however, has been instrumental in shaping both his life and career. Miller has taken a stand on issues of race, speaking up for others who feel a similar sense of disconnection. Though his background may not be obvious in his acting roles, Miller is clearly proud of his heritage. He believes his identity gives him a unique perspective, and rather than conforming, he has embraced every part of who he is. Maya Rudolph. Maya Rudolph's heritage is a rich blend of cultures and creativity, deeply influenced by her iconic family. Her mother, legendary African-American singer Minnie Riperton, and her father, of Ashkenazi Jewish descent, filled her childhood with music and diverse traditions. Growing up in such a dynamic environment, Maya felt her biracial identity was natural, but as she got older, she became more aware of society's rigid views on race. Despite challenges fitting into predefined categories, she embraces both sides of her heritage. Maya's comedy and acting often reflect her unique perspective, shaped by her upbringing, offering audiences a fresh, authentic worldview. Carmen Ehogo. British actress Carmen Ehogo, born to a Nigerian father and a Scottish mother, proudly embraces her African heritage despite challenges her light skin and European features have presented. Her father's Nigerian roots deeply shaped her identity, even as Hollywood's biases created barriers. Carmen's career began at 11, acting alongside David Bowie in Absolute Beginners and hosting a Disney Channel show. After moving to the US, she shone in Boycott and Selma, where she portrayed Coretta Scott King. Despite struggles with typecasting and comments on her appearance, Carmen found success in genre films and now champions diversity in Hollywood, embracing her heritage. Let us know which celebrity moment surprised you the most. Your feedback means a lot to us and helps build a community where we can celebrate these incredible stars together. Tiga. Tiga has a diverse cultural background, with a Vietnamese mother and an African-American father. Growing up in California, he was familiar with living in a multicultural environment, although many people assume he's primarily Vietnamese. Tiga has spoken about this in interviews, expressing pride in both sides of his family and heritage. Tiga emphasizes that he embraces both parts of his identity, regardless of how others may perceive him based on his appearance or certain cultural traits. Tiga's rap career started in the mid-2000s, when he gained attention for his unique style and lyrics. He quickly rose to fame through a series of hit singles and collaborations with major artists in the music industry. Aubrey Plaza. Aubrey Plaza, celebrated for her quirky humor and roles like Parks and Recreation, has a rich, diverse heritage often overlooked due to her fair skin. Her father is Puerto Rican with African ancestry, and her mother is of Irish descent, creating a unique blend of cultural influences in her upbringing. Despite this, Aubrey has shared feeling disconnected from her Latino roots because of her appearance, questioning her right to fully embrace her identity. While her light skin has opened doors in Hollywood, it has also confined her to roles that don't reflect her heritage, highlighting the industry's narrow casting norms. H.E.R. H.E.R. has openly reflected on her biracial identity, navigating life with a black father and a white mother. With her light skin, she's often mistaken as fully white, a reality that shields her from certain discrimination but creates its own complexities. She's spoken about the pain of having her black identity dismissed and feeling distanced from her culture. During the Black Lives Matter movement, she acknowledged her privilege, explaining why she avoids using "we" when discussing racial violence. Her younger brother, with darker skin, faced bullying and struggled with his identity, highlighting the layered challenges of being mixed in a racialized world. Pete Wentz. Pete Wentz is widely recognized as the bassist of a well-known rock band, though few may realize the diverse cultural roots that shape his background. His mother, Dale Wentz, is of Afro-Jamaican descent. While Pete has been open about his heritage in interviews, his appearance doesn't always align with people's assumptions about his background, often surprising listeners. Growing up in Chicago helped him appreciate various traditions and ways of life, giving him a nuanced view of the world, something that might be unexpected from a rock musician. Jessica Soar. Jessica Soar, widely recognized for her role as Vanessa on Gossip Girl, has a rich and nuanced heritage that often goes unnoticed. While many assume she is of European descent, she is biracial with an African-American mother. Growing up, Jessica faced the challenge of navigating her identity, feeling pressure to fit into a single racial category. Hollywood's tendency to cast actors based on appearance has led her to portray characters of varied backgrounds, often overlooking her African American roots. Despite these hurdles, Gossip Girl marked a breakthrough for Jessica, showcasing her talent. She remains dedicated to embracing her identity and advocating for true diversity in Hollywood. Nicollet Robinson. Nicollet Robinson, with both African American and Ashkenazi Jewish heritage, has a unique background. Raised in Los Angeles by her Black father and her white Jewish mother, Nicollet grew up in a home where both Jewish and Christian holidays were celebrated. She often expresses gratitude for being exposed to both cultures. Her experiences as a Black Jewish woman have influenced her acting career, where she frequently takes on roles that bridge cultural and racial divides. This diverse background has helped her connect deeply with her characters, regardless of the storylines. Because YouTube will prioritize interactive videos, please comment OK if you find this video interesting. Thank you. Carol Channing. Carol Channing's life is filled with surprising twists. Despite her bright blonde hair and fair skin, the Broadway legend had African roots, a fact she kept hidden for much of her life and career. It wasn't until she was 16 that her mother revealed to her that her father had African ancestry. Channing was not shocked or upset by the news. Instead, she embraced it, feeling that it gave her strength and confidence as a performer. However, she chose not to publicly acknowledge this part of her heritage, knowing that revealing it might limit her opportunities. At the time, Broadway and Hollywood were not welcoming to Black talent, regardless of their abilities. To protect her career, Channing made the difficult decision to pass as white, keeping her heritage a secret for many years. Channing became a beloved figure, especially for her role in Hello, Dolly, and her collaborations with icons like Louis Armstrong. Beyond the stage, she was also politically active, supporting causes alongside Armstrong. As she grew older, Channing began to open up about her racial identity, sharing more about the heritage that had once been hidden. Heather Locklear. Heather Locklear's heritage is deeply rooted in Native American and African American ancestry, though her Black roots remain less known. Her surname, Lair, stems from the Tuscarora tribes and ties her family to the Lumbee tribe, a Native American group of around 40,000 members based in Robeson County, North Carolina. The Lumbee are part of tri-racial isolates, multiracial communities with European, Native American, and African ancestry who often intermarried. Similar groups include the Melungeons in Tennessee and Redbones in the Carolinas. Despite past legal restrictions on interracial unions, these communities preserved their identities, blending rich cultural legacies into their heritage. Which celebrity's background surprised you the most? Leave a comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more interesting facts about famous people. See you in the next